All right. Does it look okay? All right.
Did you order that lion tamer stuff I linked you to?
I did. I bought some other stuff though. I bought some stuff at Target. I didn't buy the lion tamer, but
No,
I may get it anyways.
you got to get the lion tamer.
All right. Well, we are live. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another Talk Transformers Live. And before I start, I want to say happy birthday, America. Yay! Woo!
Yay.
I want to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. I hope you're having a good time with your family. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been trying to get people to come on live with me, and they always, just don't want to come on. So
I always want to come on. I always make it happen.
Anyway, well, as always, I have some guests with me, and I love doing this stuff. It's fun and everything. Happy 4th of July to you, fellas. I got Extra Zero and T-Man from the podcast Bigger Action. So, yeah, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming and taking time out of your busy schedule to join me.
Oh, well, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I've got a lot of running around to do today, but doing pretty good. Yeah, we went and saw Cirque du Soleil last night, so that was awesome. That was awesome show. No, it was for free. That's for free.
Okay. Well, then, hey.
Yeah, a friend. Her dad works at the Baltimore Arena, and got us up close tickets, and it was really cool. People might want to laugh about Cirque du Soleil, but if you actually go see it, especially if you see it live, it's an awesome show.
Very nice. That's all that matters. As long as you have a good time, that's all that matters. T-Man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I don't know what I'm doing, whose cookout I'm going to freeload at, or if I decide to clean off the grill and cook myself. But it's like 1,000,000,000 degrees, and I don't like that.
Yeah, you just gotta set the food outside, and it'll cook itself.
That is true. That's true. Like eggs and everything, man. That's good. Yeah. So yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
I was going to give some advice. If you hear fireworks and there's no crackles at the end, get down.
That's gunshot. That is not fireworks. That is gunshot. Yeah, y'all be safe out there. Somebody is going to lose a finger out in the world today. I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that lose fingers.
Star Screamer.
Yeah. I try to get Partsformer on, but he's got he ditches me all the time too. Just putting that right there. Yeah, he's doing a family thing. So that's cool. So, like I said, we had to do a Talk Transformers Live. This is where we take topics and we just talk about stuff and everything, and just give our points of view and everything. So, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So, as you know, Transformers have been around for like 35 years now. And, that's another topic. Is I would like to ask also about, why do you think Transformers has been around for 35 years? Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
So why do you think that Transformers, because that's a long time for a franchise. You got Star Wars, and you have lots of franchises that come and gone and everything. But Transformers, for some reason, it had some breaks, between the G1, G2, Beast Wars, then Beast Wars and RID. So it has taken some breaks, but it was still around. So why do you think that Transformers has been around and still loved by so many people for 35 years?
I think it's 3 reasons, to be honest with you. If you go back, there's a video, I think it was in New York, where they were talking about the phenomenon when they first came out and the novelty of them being 2 toys in one. And actually kind of 3. Because it's a robot, a puzzle, and a vehicle, or a beast. It's got that going on. The other thing too is because of that, an extension of that is the value, because it's more than one. You could get a Hot Wheel, you could get an action figure. Why not get both? Okay. There's that whole value prospect. And the third one, I think, is the characters. I mean, you can't just make a movie and call it Bumblebee unless the characters resonate with people, right? So, they have these characters that they've established over that course of 35 years, and people keep wanting to come back for more.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah. For me, a lot of the same stuff Zero said, but definitely the characters, like when G1 first started, people really connected with characters like Starscream and the weird voice of Soundwave and whatnot.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. But then one of the main reasons why it's still going on is because the nerds like us that grew up watching it, they grew up to work for companies like Hasbro and third party, so they're bringing new life back and nostalgia back into the current day Transformers.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you could tell by some of the just take the Siege Jetfire that's come out and everything. You could tell that somebody that loves Transformers made this. I mean, how much love they put into it and everything. So you could tell with some, especially the Siege line overall. For me, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I think that you can tell that people that love and that grew up with Transformers are making these same toys.
Yeah.
So you can see that. And I really like that.
I think it's interesting with that Jetfire. I don't have mine yet, thanks Amazon. But the fact that they put
just a little bit.
But all the play pattern stuff they put into it, right? Because you've got everything you could possibly want out of that Jetfire. I mean, you got the toy mode, you got the cartoon mode, you have like a weapons pack, you have like all the gimmicks. You can put pilots in it. You can have Transformers hold on to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
and it's awesome. It's like I think one of the things too is for the adult collectors, they like tick that box of, man, this is something I would have thought would have been really cool when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, and they didn't have to do that, because like I just told y'all, I'm shooting my review for the Jetfire. They didn't have to add that little add-on with the them hanging off, flying into. That was just a little piece of plastic they didn't have to add on at all.
That's a masterpiece gimmick that they put in.
Let me ask you guys something, because it's like when we had the Combiner Wars trilogy, I kind of felt like we were getting gypped out on what we got with Thrilling 30. And even Thrilling 30 was kind of like a downgrade from Universe, in my opinion. They got smaller. There was less engineering. They cut out missiles and stuff like that for the most part. But you guys think it's kind of like the New Coke almost? Where like the Combiner Wars trilogy was like such a major step down, kind of like how the New Coke, like they came out with it and people are like, it's awful. Bring back original Coke. And now they're bringing back stuff that they had before. It's still not as extravagant as what we had in Universe, with like big figures that were interesting engineering, not a lot of repaints, which we're getting in Siege. There's not a lot of repaints. They're there, but there's new molds. I mean, and they give you like a Springer like this, and they're bringing that stuff out, and people are like, they can't get enough of it. You think that was like maybe like a plan, or I don't know. I know like I know a guy that talked to John Warden when Titans Return was out, and he's like, yeah, these stickers are awful. We don't like the stickers. And they're like, I thought fans loved the stickers.
Yeah, they were pretty bad, especially on the side.
With Classics and Universe, they were trying to make the stuff seem G1, but be a little bit evolved and different. But then they realized, with people talking and complaining, that we really wanted G1.
Yeah.
So they kind of made them a little bit more G1 during Combiner Wars. But then towards Titans Returns and now Siege, they just went all out and said, this is what they want. And now they did it and everybody's coming back.
I think with the Combiner Wars trilogy is like they gave us like G1 toys, and I think the thing that they forgot is people don't remember the G1 toys; they remember the G1 characters.
Yeah, I mean we had to use your imagination as a child. You didn't. The toys were basically just bricks.
Yeah.
But and just like everything, they had to test out stuff. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Combiner Wars didn't work, so they went to something else. With Titan Returns. And then Powder Primes. Powder Primes didn't work, I don't think. I think the Prego mode was kind of stupid. But that's Siege. So they're just testing and everything. You have to learn from your mistakes.
I think Siege, and I hope that they continue this. I hope it's like Universe, because like you have Marvel Legends, you have Star Wars Black Series with Hasbro. Just make this your definitive Transformers line. Just keep making stuff like this in scale. And make the definitive versions of the characters. And like with Galaxy Prime, you can do Transformers from any timeline in this.
Well, and I think a lot of people, and I hear this all the time, people griping about, they're just rehashing G1. We're getting the same characters. Well, we are. They throw in, you're gonna get a Prime, a Starscream, and a Megatron. But with the Siege line, they're throwing in other characters too. They're sprinkling in, like Jetfire. They're sprinkling in the reflector and everything. So I would like for them to, and I've always asked this question, would you like some new characters, like scratch everything and start off with new characters? I know they're going to rehash G1 all the time, and I expect that and everything. But with, Time Returns and with, Powder Primes and with Siege, they're sprinkling in other, obscure characters that we would not probably thought we were ever going to get, and everything. So that's why I think the Siege line is doing really well.
And
at that.
I think one of the things they can do is, like, right now they're stressing Cybertronian modes, and I would not be against this because, like, when I was a kid, I always wanted Tetrajets. Now they gave us Tetrajets, and not everybody's fond of the Starscream mold. I personally like it.
I
love it, but I like it a lot. They can go back and re-engineer some of these and be like, okay, now you got your Earth mode, and they're all in scale. I kind of hope that's their long game, and to make this again like the Black Series or Marvel Legends. Like, you could argue, well, how many Spider-Man figures do you need? But if you're a big fan of Spider-Man, you'd want every costume.
How many Captain America?
Right, exactly. Iron Man. People. I know our buddy Jason Lowry. He's got a big hull of armor that he's got going, and then that stuff's awesome. You give people the options to do that. If you're a Starscream collector or a Secret collector, you can have every iteration.
Yeah.
Well, Transformers does have a Black Series or Marvel Legends. It's called Generations.
Yeah.
So everything, that's their version of Black Series.
But they counted like Power of the Primes and the Power of the Primes, Combiner Wars, Titans Returns as generations. And I don't think that those, and granted, like, Black Series has changed over time, and Marvel Legends has changed over time, with especially digital face paint on the movie stuff. But I don't think that I could put this next to Power of the Primes figures.
Yeah, because they've evolved. So.
Yeah.
But it's all still part of that one brand. Like, anything that's more intricate and advanced is Generations.
Yeah.
Instead of like Cyberverse and all that.
Yeah, though I think that they need to stop assuming like kids aren't capable of having quality figures, and they need to have like the fiction back. I think that's what's going to ultimately drive Transformers forward. I know you want to talk about where they're going, and I think that they just need good fiction somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
I think that they need to move away from Cartoon Network. I really think they need to get away from Cartoon Network.
Netflix, right?
Yeah,
I
was going to say the Netflix thing. I think it's going to be perfect. I really think it's going to really put the Siege line over the top, because we're going to get fiction for it.
Yeah, but I think what they need to do, if they're going to do that, is have the fiction ready before the toys. Because
G1, the fiction came out right before the toys.
Yeah, okay. It was like ready. It was like ready at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that I think Netflix is a good platform. I think I think people sell cable TV a little short. I still know a lot of people that have cable TV, and a lot of kids in my family that have cable TV. And when Ninja Turtles was on, like, my cousin's son was all about that. And he needs stand in front of the TV when it was coming on. But I think that they need to have fiction ready. They need to do it right. Don't do machinima. Go with Netflix.
Oh, they're done with that. They're done with shit.
Yeah, and that was it was crappy, because like those series. I mean, Power of the Primes kind of came on closer to the toy line, but everything else, like Combiner Wars and Titan Return, it was like a year. I think Combiner Wars was like a year and a half after.
Yeah, I mean, you had to. They're there to sell toys. I mean, basically,
but you can't sell toys that, like, the way Hasbro's distribution works. Like, you miss out on a wave, it's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
learning. They're learning. Like I said before, they're trying stuff and everything. And I would love if they would have put a cartoon out for Siege first, and then started sprinkling out the toys. That would have been pretty cool.
I'll tell you why I think cable TV still is a good place to put Transformers, because, like, Cartoon Network basically turned into the Teen Titans Go channel. I mean, anytime I turn it on, it's Teen Titans Go. I'll be waiting for Adult Swim to. I like to fall asleep to Adult Swim some nights. Although now it's kind of changed the Food Network. But,
you know what I miss? Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I think people are afraid to market to like use a cartoon to sell toys. I think they're afraid of having some vocal minority group point finger like,
well, not, yeah, they don't want Transformers because well, they don't want Transformers because they're fighting. You know, that's why you don't see G.I. Joe around anymore because it's fighting. You know, the parents are I want to say oversensitive. You know, which is fine. They can be protective of their kids, and that's fine. But you know, if you can sit down with your kid and say, look, this is not real.
Yeah.
You know, this is just fun, you know, fun stuff to watch. You know, then you could be a good parent and say, hey, you know, this is like I said, I don't want you going out there shooting people, but you know, that's better said. You know, it's easier said than done. You know, but you know, it's just you know, they're back in the '80s. You know, they didn't care. You know, you had all the stuff, you had all the fighting and everything. So
and they were robots, so they didn't put weight behind it.
Well, we also like kind of had like this whole like surge of like overprotectiveness and PC stuff happened in like the middle of the 90s, right? If you go back and watch that Spider-Man the animated series, even though I still like the animated series, he never throws I think it's like in He-Man too. He-Man was another one. He-Man actually never gets into any fights. If you go back and watch the original He-Man. But like in that like Spider-Man cartoon, there's actually like no one gets punched. He only gets thrown.
Yeah. Yeah, he never. Yeah, that is true. So you know what, but yeah, we could talk about. So I want you know that was a good discussion. I'm really wanted to see where people thought 35 years why people still love Transformers and everything.
Yeah.
It's just big robots. You know, I think, and like you said, the characters have always stuck with us. Do you think? Well, let me ask you this: do you think that if Transformers come out right now, do you think it would still? You think it would last 35 years?
If they had the characters, like I mean, that's the thing. You got characters that are memorable. Like everybody goes back, so well, it's a G1 cartoon. It's not very good. You know, I can see where they're coming from. But if you have characters, right? I mean, you have like iconic voices. They call it lightning in a bottle. You know, like Starscream's character was great. The stories may not have been great, but the characters were great. The way they talk, the little idiosyncrasies, what they turned into. I mean, that whole element is cool on its own.
But yeah, I mean, as kids, we saw, it was wonderful. You know, 5-6-year-old little kid and everything. You're seeing, them transform from plane to all this stuff. Everything. You're just like, wow, what is?
And the sound effects.
Yeah,
sound effects, and everything. So
those Star Wars sound effects.
Yeah, we didn't really pay attention to the story as much. Now, when we're older, we're just like, man, it was kind of crappy, to be honest. But as kids, it was a slice of pie. We didn't really know the difference between all the other stuff and everything. So that's cool. Well, so to lead into that, what the headline says is, where do you see Transformers from 5 years? And the reason why I ask that is, if you're a G1 collector, it's very seldom that we get a lot of releases for those. I mean, we're still getting them, Fans Toys, X-Transbots, and everything, but they're actually, doing stuff that we already have. X-Transbots is, we already have a Minosaur out there and everything. And, well, do we? Yeah, well, not MP scale as far as that, but we do have Minosaurs out there. But what I'm trying to get is that, it's, when you, the TFCon, just take that, the third-party panel. The last couple of years have been really just crappy. Like we get stuff that we've already seen. We're not getting a lot of new stuff.
So let me ask you something about that. Like I know the general consensus is that it's crappy, but I mean, we're kind of at a state with third party now where, if you can think it, they'll give it to you, right? I mean,
are they taking? But our third-party companies are not really taking chances on obscure characters. Like we're not getting, some of the junior headmasters. We're not getting, top spinning twin twist. We're not getting, runabout and run 'em up. We're not getting those.
There's like this thing sprinkled in between because, like, look, if you look at Fans Hobby, they're giving us a Minerva figure. Granted, I mean, they're also doing stupid stuff like they're retooling Power Master Prime into Thunderclash for. Yeah. God knows why.
Well, I mean, some people like Thunderclash.
But I mean, if you're going to do Thunderclash and you're a third-party company, you don't have to like retool that into Thunderclash.
Fans Hobby is a weird. They're doing Japanese stuff. They're doing the Overlord. They've done the Power Master Prime. The Minerva. The They did the monster bots, but they weren't really released in America as far as
No, Monster Bots were in America. I had them when I was.
I'm sorry, I meant cartoon wise.
Cartoon wise, yes.
Cartoon. So we did get them as toys, but I'm just saying they're doing obscure characters. So hopefully we can, I think it would be a great chance to jump on some stuff that we haven't gotten.
I think that they their niche is really with like the Japanese stuff in G2. I think they need to get that G2 Megatron rolling.
The tank.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else is doing it. Mm-hmm. They can get a couple repaints out of it because they can do black and purple. I'm sorry, green and purple. They can do the purple and
KB one.
Yeah, the KB one. And then they can do the one that wasn't released, which they did on Hasbro Pulse. That
the
green and beige one. Yeah.
So in 5 years, we're probably going to be on the third Bumblebee Universe sequel, and War for Cybertron is going to be over. We'll probably be in a second year of some type of Armada Energon rehash.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, so we're almost to 2005. Like, so when did Armada come out? 2003.
Yeah, about 2002, 2003.
2002. Yeah, so it's crazy to think about it, but we'll be coming up on the 20th anniversary of Armada. And as much as people in the community are passionate about Beast Wars, I love Beast Wars. And when Transformers message boards were getting big, like bottalk.com, I don't know if anybody remembers that. The AllSpark came out in 1999. People left Bot Talk and formed the AllSpark and joined over there. And that's like when I remember the community, forming. And again, this is like when I remember it forming online. Beast Wars and Beast Machines were huge, and those message boards and discussion groups were huge about Beast Wars. People talking to folks from Mainframe and getting leaks from Hasbro. And, the community was very passionate about Beast Wars. However, it's kind of like it didn't resonate with people. But you find so many young adults out there now that grew up with Armada and talk about it like we talk about G1. Man. Yeah.
Well, we mentioned this on Sharecast this week. Do you see, and they was talking to some of the people some of the designers and everything, that they may not even be making all the Beast Wars characters like the Waspinators and everything. I think this would be a prime time example for a third party company to jump in and come in with like a Waspinator or Pterosaur or Scorponok or something like that.
I think that the third party companies are playing it safe with Beast Wars, and they're doing stuff like
doing it because Takara,
right. Well, and then if you do your season 3, it seems like Takara's sticking to season 1 right now, but you do your season 3 and season 2, but that leaves Takara in a safe space because, like, and I get that the argument, well, the well's drying up, but people are chomping at the bit to buy Takara Hound. There are some people that are upset about the neck, but there are people that are chomping at the bit to buy the official one. There are people that are like excited about the new Bumblebee. You can get upset about the feet, but everybody's seeing that they're not doing a real VW Beetle design. They're going with the Toon aesthetic. And that's the thing, right? The aesthetic, we were talking about how Power of the Primes, or I was talking about how Power of the Primes doesn't fit in with Siege. Like, you can't take, for most cases, for my taste, I can't put this next to a Power of the Primes figure. Mm-hmm. You're going to get to a point where some of the early Masterpiece stuff just does not match the aesthetic, and people are going to want to have a uniform aesthetic of this stuff. And you have a lot of people now that are all about the Sunbow designs.
Yeah, that is true. So, like I said, I think if third party, third party are doing like the Transmetal stuff, Perfect Effect. You have this other one, the Wing Jang one that's coming out that looks beautiful. Actually, Tyler G, he's going to let me look at his, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Wait, Wei Zhang's doing a Megatron?
It's Wang something.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's one of those companies just doing that, and it's scratch proof. It's really shiny metal, shiny paint, and it's, man, come on now.
I'm planning on moving all my perfect effect stuff to one shelf, and then just doing that one for my Beast Wars shelf.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions, man. I got a lot of people in there. Thank y'all very much for coming in. Do we buy Elmatic Prime? Do we buy 3P figures because we think we will die before Takara Hasbro makes those figures is a life too short situation. I don't really think about it when I'm dying. If I'm going to die, if I'm going to get it, I just buy third party because it's there. I mean, they're offering it us,
It's because it's here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no idea when Hasbro is going to make it.
I think a lot. I don't want to say everybody, and I'm not speaking for teammate or extra, but when we buy third party, most of the time I'm hoping that Takara is going to make it. So basically, it's a placeholder. Now, if Takara doesn't make it, and I like the purchase that I like the purchase and everything, like say KFC Blaster. If there's rumors that Takara is going to make one solo, but if it never happens, I would be fine with the KFC Blaster that I have for my MP collection. So that's the reason why I buy third party, because I want to test it out. And if Takara makes it, that's fine. I will sell my other one or keep it, and I will. But if Takara never makes it, then I'm good with them, having that blaster.
I don't buy anything as a placeholder, but I say I've been saying it for a long time that there's always going to be something bigger and better. And I mean, did anybody buy MP10 or MP Bumblebee as a placeholder? You know, did anybody buy Fans Toys Willis as a placeholder? I think that's the thing, is that, and that's my argument against the wells drying up, is there's always going to be a bigger and better version. Takara has not made a lot of these characters, and there are things like you can get an Astro Train now, you can get DX9 Shigur, but it's not that great of a figure because it's aged, it's old third party, and engineering has gotten better, designs have gotten better, and that's always going to be the case.
Yeah, that's true. What's that? Oh, I thought T-Man said something. T-Man's eating. Come on. Killing me, dude. I got you too. That's hungry. I'm hungry. But what was I going to say?
I don't think I don't think you've mapped out where you see things in 5 years.
Man, I don't, man.
Because I have a other than the Armada stuff, I have a crazy theory, right?
Okay, I think from 5 years, and other things come into play too. The cost, the cost of living is rising. So toys are not a main. If toys are your main reason to live and all that stuff, then you might be doing the wrong stuff. But I don't want to say that. I'm sorry, that's probably mean. But because toys mean a lot to me too. But like I said, with the rising cost of living and everything, all that stuff and everything, toys are going to go to the wayside sometimes. For a lot of people.
Sometimes,
yeah. But 5 years, I would like for Takara to step up. And I've always mentioned this, and I really like what you said a couple live things ago. Takara might be waiting for stuff to die down, to put out a third-party Galvatron, because we heard a lot of rumors when they announced the Leo Convoy that it was going to get a new set of Star Seekers, and Galvatron was coming. And I've always thought that Takara might be waiting for that time to let time pass by for third-party to do their thing, and then come in and swoop in and say, hey, we got this coming.
I tell you what, I saw a picture the other day of a guy who was an official only collector. And, he just had official G1 and official, no third-party stuff. And it's interesting to see how small his collection is compared to some. But it was a nice, tight collection. And, it's funny. It's like anybody that's an official only collector, they're kind of like, they kind of can get by pretty easily, and they're not spending as much as we are.
That's true. Yeah, they're not buying a lot. Yeah. Because
look at what people like. I mentioned Willis. I want the fans. I want the Takara Hound. I want it. And I will. If it comes down to it, I will get rid of all my third-party stuff and resort.
Did he have every official figure?
Yeah, every official masterpiece.
The only bad thing is you're going to be buying the same mold over and over and over again.
To a degree, yeah, but
because Blue Streak has how many versions?
Blue Streak has, if you count Silver Streak and the Blue Streak, yeah, there's going to be 4.
And the Plus.
The Plus coming. And Hasbro version.
Yeah. If you count the Hasbro version, there's 5, but there's no differences between the Hasbro version and the Takara version. Believe me, I had them both.
But with the 5-year thing, like you said, the War for Cybertron kind of trilogy will probably be dying down at that point. Masterpiece, I'm hoping, we get Jazz and we get Cliff Jumper, we get some, holes filled, so to speak, and, moving on. Third party, and I'm going to ask you this question also. Do y'all, and I asked this on Sharecast this week, what do y'all see another third party company coming in and giving us what we want? Like, I know Fan Toys is, steadily, they, a lot of people gripe about their, their distribution thing, but they are putting stuff out.
I think we could. It's just a matter of will they be successful, right? I mean, I think that there are a lot of third-party companies that have the best intentions and they design a product that people want. I mean, let's go back to Crapagonics, right? There are a lot of people that wanted a Sunstreaker that had an accurate transformation. They didn't want the toon aesthetic. They didn't want any faux parts. And people were excited about Omnigonics because of that. Because, this fits in better with the original aesthetic of Masterpiece, in their opinion. There's no faux parts, and there are people that just there was a time.
What's wrong with faux parts?
There's nothing wrong with it, but there are people that want what they consider to be true transformations.
Oh, okay.
And this goes on in like the Soul Chigoken community too. Like there are people that collect Soul Chigoken, and they're like Soul Chigoken is an interesting one because when they do something that transforms, they come out with faux parts and what they call true transformation parts, if I remember correctly. Like Gal Gar, he has tiny little baby hands that like actually do the thing and they spin out, and then he has then you could pop him off and give him like the anime accurate hands, but he can't transform with those. So
almost every Optimus has full parts because the bumper doesn't become the crotch and the grill doesn't become the same grill usually.
Yeah, I mean, I never really got I don't like full parts. Like, wow,
but
it's a necessity sometimes,
But it's like
definitely for Sunstreaker for me. I don't want him having a big giant windshield gut.
But like I was saying though, it's like there are third-party companies that'll give you what you want. It's just will it be successful? I mean, even with Fans Toys, they made the Red Swoop, the toy accurate one, and that thing, like when you couldn't find the blue one, that red one was always there. But they gave the fans what they want.
Yeah.
And when Fans Hobby first came out, they were doing figures that nobody else was doing. They were doing figures that, if you want it in a specific deco, they'll do it. And their price was fair. I mean, I think that for what you get with their Overlord, it's like more than enough for what it costs. I mean,
I just got that one in too. That's a good point. Let me ask you about that price. Do you think that Takara and third party is pricing out people?
Yes.
Out of the collection.
Yes, absolutely.
Out of the collection and everything. Okay. What about you, teammate?
I do, especially. I mean, if they keep going up, definitely. I can't buy a $200 Bumblebee.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about earlier about the cost of living. Things are going up. And people are losing jobs. And stuff and everything. So, I think that Takara and even third party needs to, and they have to make a living too. Understand that. Well, not third party doesn't really, because they, when they got stuff in the factories, they're making other stuff other than Transformers. So if they lost Transformers, they wouldn't, blink an eye. It wouldn't matter. They could make calls and stuff.
I understand that prices are going up and the cost of living is going up, but Takara told me his prices have skyrocketed beyond anything. It's like nuts. Like there's no explanation.
That Hound is $160. How much were MP starting off? Like $80? I think Sideswipe was like what, 80?
I think that was the regular retail price. 80.
Yeah, when they started out, Sideswipe was 60. And it's kind of funny because at the time I didn't have the job I have now. I was working a job that maybe paid me like when he came out, I was making like 30 grand a year.
Oh, a pimp?
No. Oh. I mean, I'm just saying that's what I was making. And so for me to afford my rent, afford my car bill, my insurance, food, clothes, that was at the back. And I know like we've had Tyler G on here before. He's like, well, if you want it, you can save for it. But I mean, there's for a lot of people there's more in your life than just Transformers, and I don't want to be like, okay, well, I have to eat ramen noodles because I want this Megatron, for instance. And this is like the only thing I collect. There are a lot of people that like to have diverse collections. Like, T, you're into a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, and you just man, you bring up some good points. You can save for what you want, but what if you're trying to save it for fans' toys? And if you don't get that, like when it comes out, it's usually going to sell out, and then later down the line, you're going to have to pay a lot more than what it was for originally. So you're kind of, But I always say that, with the everybody was grappling about the Optimus Prime MP44 being so much, but if you want it, you can save for it.
So that's what I wanted to say too, is I think that other third-party companies, right? We've seen for a while that X Transbots has a Galvatron they've been working on for quite some time. We know that they have a cup they've been working on for quite some time. And one thing you got to give credit to X Transbots for KFC, either or, is that when they have a design that's like sitting on the drawing room floor, they don't let it stagnate. They update it. Hoodlum is a good example that Fans Toys thinks that they're above that they'll just keep old. And again, like when I was talking about Chigurh, it's old third party. When I got Hoodlum, I was like, man, this is a figure that seems like it should have come out 3-4 years ago, which it should have. But they were afraid of MP28. Was that MP28? They were afraid of the new Masterpiece Hot Rod. They were afraid that nobody would buy it. But now Fans Toys has such a following that they could release anything. They could go back and release that Soundwave that's like old third party and not change it. And there are people that would be buying it because they're that big a fan of Fans Toys. But
I don't think Soundwave would do that well, to be honest. Because
I don't think it would do that well. But I'm just saying that there are people that would buy it because it's Fans Toys, right?
Same way people will buy Takara.
I think people sell X Transbot short, but one of the things that Keith does is if there's demand for a figure, he makes it available again. Like the Junkions sold out, reissue the Junkions. They're going to do the rest of the Junkions. Nobody's doing those. Motormaster's pictures came out and they're like, we need to design Motormaster because people are critical of it. I think that they're stepping their game up. I think people underestimate them. They have a reflector set that does a lot of stuff the Fans Toys one doesn't. And I think the Fans Toys reflector isn't a very good figure. There's a lot of parts forming with it. If you transform it once, it doesn't hold its integrity. So I've never transformed mine. And the fact of the matter is it's not very fun to handle. Whereas I've heard everybody that's got the Opticlones likes transforming them, the little sound gimmick where you press the button and it clicks.
I've heard the case too. I have the Make Toys one and I'm fine with it. Like I said, if nobody makes another reflector, I'm fine with it.
And that's the thing, right? These ridiculous prices for Perceptor. Someone comes out with a Perceptor, and I mean, it's not hard to beat the Fans Toys one. That face has a face only a mother could love. But I think that's the thing. Like we're talking about, like, well, the well drying up, but it's who's doing these figures, who's doing them well. People are always going to be making bigger and better figures. And it goes back to even outside of Transformers, Voltron. There used to be that expensive Matty Collector Voltron. And then Soul Shigoken came out. People wanted that, but it was too expensive. And then Playmates did theirs. And the Playmates one is a fine Voltron.
Yeah. Paul S. actually said when you said Perceptor, he's like, someone needs to make a new Perceptor. So, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Just want to thank everybody coming in. I got 24 people watching me. Holy crap, man. I made it the big times. All right. But yeah, has anybody any questions? I know if you had asked a question, I tried to watch it. I tried to watch the chat and everything to make answers. So if you got any questions and everything, or if you have opinions of where do you think Transformers is going to be in 5 years? Did you say where teammate? Did you say where do you think Transformers is going to be in 5 years?
Yeah, I said we're going to be on the third Bumblebee universe.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you.
But I did have a thought. I forgot what it is.
Oh, I had a brain fart. Nice. What'd you show team or Extra?
Oh, just for everybody that's interested, Slimer from the crossover is Siegeport compatible, so you can put him on like a little booty.
And you want to talk about that? What about crossovers?
I think that, and I hope that Ectotron is more successful. I hope that he's successful, and I hope that we see more crossovers because we had Star Wars crossovers and Marvel crossovers in the past of the Transformers brand, and as popular as Marvel is right now, I'd like to see them go back and do that, and not necessarily we're going to do the Hulk as a tank, but do some Iron Man armors that transform into characters, or things that transform into like the X-Men Blackbird, and they can be original characters like Ectotron. I think everybody wants a Back to the Future one. They want the DeLorean to turn into something.
What if they go
with
back
one-offs? Like, I don't want, if they have to force out a bunch of crappy molds, I'd rather just get the one-offs. Like, if we get like a turtle van, because TMNT is willing to cross over with any company. So I'm pretty sure we'll get that.
What if they go back and do the Siege? What if later on, like a year or two now, they go back to do Siege and they do the Marvel stuff with Siege?
If they do it well, I think that as long as they have if they have like a good, Ectotron has like the IDW comics, so he's coming from there, and I can't believe that they made this off the engineering of the Hotspot and the Onslaught mold. That perplexes me, but I think if they do it well and they don't just shoehorn things in, like, okay, here's a robot that kind of sort of looks like Wolverine. It would be awesome if Hasbro got the DC license, instead of it going to TD. Who got the DC license? Is that Jack specific?
I think McFarlane.
McFarlane? Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well,
McFarlane and another company got it. I can't remember.
I think DC has the more iconic vehicles. If they were able to do a Batman Transformers line, good night.
People are mentioning.
Yeah.
Motorcycle is everything.
People are mentioning Knight Rider. They like to see one and done with Knight Rider.
Yeah.
The 18 van would be a one and done.
Somebody turned Ironhide into Mystery Machine.
Yeah. Someone mentioned, let's see, Tidarium Hanger. He's a good dude. I've had him on around 30. Somebody posted a DeLorean Transformer custom. I think
Light Cycles
cool.
from Tron would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many one and done things they could do, to bring it instead of a whole line like a Marvel or DC or something or Star Wars.
It's Mattel. Is Thundercats Mattel?
Yeah.
Mattel did.
That little tiger car thing. If that could be a robot, that would be cool.
I would just like them to do a line is called Famous Rides, and see if they could do that and use the car licenses they have. The big one would be if they did Fast and the Furious ones. They'd probably get a lot of people to buy into those.
Chuck C said maybe a crossover combiner. Maybe you could do a Voltron. Out of something, maybe, I don't know, but you could do that. Let's see, the mystical one. This is Darius. I got my son checking you out. This D from hey, what's up, Darius? Man, I ain't seen that guy in a long time, man. What you doing, man? I used to work with this guy at HP. He's a really good dude. Nice to hear from you. Thank you for jumping in, man. Let's see. Oh yeah, your son used to like Transformers. You always ask me about Quit. Okay, shout out to that guy, man. Thank you, man. Let's see. Kit. Yeah, the car. The name was Kit. Who do you think they could do for Kit? Like Sideswipe, maybe? Well, I don't know who they could do for Kit.
If they had a wind charger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wind charger. They could do that, but they have to make an MP wind charger though.
Yeah.
So unless they want to do a deluxe version, but I guess they could do.
But
deluxe.
I mean, they took a fire truck and turned it into a hearse. I mean, that or
that's true.
Do like Chrome Dome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And they could do the 18 van. They could do the what are some other 80s the Fall Guy? Could they do the Fall Guy, that truck or whatever for the Fall Guy? Maybe.
I can't remember what that looks like.
Actually, it was a Ford pickup, wasn't it? It was like an old Ford or something pickup, something like that.
That's almost before my time.
Was it really? He was someone.
I was little when that was coming on.
Yeah, I remember watching it.
I just remember the theme song a little bit.
They could do. What What else they could do? They could do the Flintstones. They could do Flintstones or whatever. They could do the Jetsons. I was gonna say the Jeffersons, but they could do the Jeffersons. Moving on up. They could do Sanford and Son. That truck, that old Redcar from the movies could be Sanford and Son's truck, man. That'd be awesome. I love Sanford and Son. That was one of my favorite shows to watch when I was a kid. Was Sanford and Son. Red Fox, rest in peace. Yeah, I guess I don't. Is there anything else you want to chat? We've been on for a little while. I guess we can end this on a good note. So I want to thank everybody for coming in. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate the love and everything. If you want to come on one of these, just hit me up, and we'll definitely. I tried to hit up Tim K wants to come on. I'm going to try to get him on one of these if he wants to come on, but he's over in Germany, so it's a different time and everything. So I'll try to get him on. One of these little things. So y'all want to tell everybody we are at and everything? I know y'all are on a podcast or something. A little small podcast called Finger Action and everything. So
I was gonna say you can catch us every Thursday night, except for the night we're taking off for the holiday, even though we came one here. Well, I mean, people have stuff to do tonight. And,
yeah, that's true.
With all that, we figured why not. But yeah, you can catch us every Thursday night at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time over on the Figure Action Podcast YouTube channel. Of course, I won't be on next Thursday either. I get a 2-week break.
You're going on vacation?
Yeah, I'm leaving for the Carolinas Saturday morning. So
nice, very nice. Well, T-Man, I guess you have a little review, little channel you got going on. Tell everybody where they can find you, man.
It's small. But if you looked up T-Man 978 with no dashes or anything, you'll find me. And you'll find me Thursdays with Extra Zero and everybody else. And you'll find me when Extra Zero's on vacation.
Yep.
I'll be there.
He's going on vacation with T-Man, or with the Extra Zero. They're going on vacation. So. But yeah, once again, thank y'all so much for coming on. It's July 4th and happy, America Day, all that good stuff. And like I said, want to thank everybody for coming in and watching. Go down and hit that like button. It helps the channel out and everything. And someone already hit the dislike button.
Did that. Click it.
And somebody already hit the dislike button, so that's fine. You still watch it. I love you. All righty. But yeah, if you want to get on, just hit me up and we'll get you on. We'll do a little, back and forth kind of talk thing and everything. You can find me on this channel all the time. I'm putting out stuff like every day, because I don't have anything else to do, so why not? But yeah, I put out. I'm gonna have the Jetfire review out soon too. I'm working on it right now. I should have that out in a minute. But go watch T-Man's. He does a really good job on his, so definitely go check his out and everything. So I guess I'll see you on the next Talk Transformers Live. And as always, Hail Hasbro, be good to yourself, and good night, folks.
Good night.
See ya.